So you think that should be primary?
Primary.
But aren't they going about it in a separate way, but almost are trying to achieve the same principle?
That's the reason why they are this deadlock they are. Because the resource control issue becomes an issue that people who come from South-South want addressed right now. For you to address that, they are asking you, if you consider us as part of Nigeria, if you consider us as a people in whose backyard you have the resource that has put Nigeria in this level that we are at, then ask yourself, is it fair for you to leave us in this state of penury?
Is this a legitimate question?
It is a very legitimate question. It is so legitimate that the East-West Road is only being constructed properly in this period in the last 25 years, because I had traveled that road in the last 25 years. And that is where oil has been coming from. I have been through to Onne, and you would cry for people who live in that environment in the last 25 years. And yet we're building structures in Abuja. We're doing everything with the same oil money that could have been used to develop the area where the oil money is coming from.
Dr. Adedeji, is really amazing, because now you talked about true federalism, and these are some of the issues people have always raised before this conference was convoked, and we have people from all regions of the country, representatives cross, even some from academic, political parties, and elder statesmen. Why is it that they haven't been able to see it the way you're seeing it now and hit it on the head, even if it was meant to be a no-go area?
See, it's no rocket science. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. The tune was dictated by the person who convened the national conference. There are certain things you don't say, there are certain things you don't do. As long as you abide by that, then go ahead and do the conference. But you see, the issues will always come out, and the issues will speak for themselves. And the issues are speaking for themselves now. And what are the issues saying? Who are we? What do we want from each other? What should we do with ourselves? That's what the issues are saying. And we need to begin to address those issues and say which comes first. Is it our statism that comes first, or the issue of principles of derivation?
You know, since the consensus haven't been reached on those issues, especially the derivation you talked about, isn't that an indication or an inkling as to the answer you sought to your question of whether we want to live together?
I wish it is true that we want to live together in the hearts of everybody who is staying there at the conference. I wish it is true. Because if it is true, then we're beginning to see ourselves as a nation. We have not seen ourselves as a nation. I dare challenge you that there is only one thing that prevents you from being a Nigerian, and that's statism. Remove statism from everything you're doing, what are you? You're a Nigerian. And what is statism in itself? It is supposed to be a tool through which a certain group of people within a geographical enclave are assured of government attention, government participation. But if it is an arrangement that is truly meant to take care of the interests of people, then a number of things need to be done and done correctly. The issue of fiscal federalism must be taken very seriously. I'm saying if we accept to be together, that's why I'm talking in this sense. The issue of fiscal federalism needs to be taken seriously, and we need to abide and play by the rules.
What principles will be fair to you?
What should be fair? Look at the formula of sharing. Lagos State contributes 219 billion naira to federal, as they generated 219 billion naira as internally generated revenue. They have how many local governments? They are taking less than what they're supposed to take from federal government compared to what Kano State is taking. Is there fairness there?
It seems that every time we make comparisons, we're always making them with states in the north. And the north is also concerned about income because, I mean, I was reading an article yesterday, and for them it's about disparity in income. They do acknowledge that some other areas seem to have more resources or have the opportunity of getting a better income than, than they do. And so for them, the thing is, how can we call ourselves a country when it would seem that there's going to be, well, I say, a very large income in one area and almost, not very large in another area. Can we say that we're really united?
During the military regime, when Buba Marwa was governor in Lagos State, the IGR base for the state was 600 million naira. Today is about 18, 19 billion naira on a monthly basis. What happened? People in government need to know that taking revenue from the federal source should not be your sole dependence. You need to generate revenue internally. And you need to cut your coat according to your cloth. So if a state cannot survive based on the calculation of the internally generated revenue, then that state should give up being a state. The number of states that we have become very parasitic to the federal resource. And we need to talk about that.
Well, as it stands, even the federal resource is not enough. I mean,
exactly.
It's not enough to take care of federal
issues. Exactly, because there are too many issues that are there.
A lot of issues. Yeah. And then it would seem that we're planning to even cut down further what occurs to the federal purse.
That's exactly right. So we're saying we need to ask ourselves, what do we really want? Do we want to go back to the larger region which worked at that time? It worked in the West, it worked in the East, it worked in the North.
But we're not keen to go back to it. Why is that?
Because a lot of people who are benefiting from this inconsistent system that we're running will never want it to go back to the region. They will have no role to play. They like the status quo. They benefit immensely from the status quo.